On the west bank of a chocolate-colored river called the Guayas lies the largest city in Ecuador, Guayaquil. The thriving center of Ecuadorian commerce and industry, Guayaquil is growing at a rapid rate. But like elsewhere in the developing world, as the city grows, hundreds of thousands come, creating vast slums like El Suburbio, El Guasmo, and Isla Trinitaria, where they struggle to live on tiny scraps of land that once was swamp. For them, health care and basic nutrition as we know it barely exists. Here, lack of basic care and the fatalism that goes with it could harden the attitude that this always has been and always will be the way of the world. But in Guayaquil, the capital of Quito, and other places in Ecuador, there's a new attitude, one of hope. Because a few men and women are working with committed Ecuadorians to improve children's health care through the efforts of an organization known as Por Cristo. Since 1980, with only the barest of resources, Por Cristo, founded by maxillofacial surgeon Martin J. Dunn and Bishop Thomas Daly, has been sending medical teams from the United States and Canada to Ecuador. Their mission? Work side by side with Ecuadorian professionals to teach and to train, to help them better care for Ecuador's children. But this mission is daunting and difficult. Volunteers work long hours under demanding conditions. Recently, personnel from the burn unit of Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children made their fourth visit to El Hospital de Ninos de Alejandro Mann, a children's hospital in Guayaquil. Their long-term goal? Creation of a burn center to serve as a model for Ecuador, where primitive cooking and electrical accidents cause catastrophic burns in children.
She had a nasty burn a couple of years ago from fire and is left with a number of problems. And she has a variety of issues going on that almost is a textbook for explaining how to deal with the late effects of burn scars. So I'm going to go through with these doctors and some of the residents virtually a whole course in burn reconstruction in this one little girl. Es la línea de la brida. Entonces, tenemos que poner piel nueva adentro de esta línea. Tenemos que hacer varias operaciones en distintas partes.
As a team coming to a place like Ecuador, we have to kind of change our perspective and realize that there's situations where we have to make do when supplies are short. We have to work together in order to problem solve, to help the people in the best way that we can.
Eso es lo que me está preguntando, que si lo están midiendo. ¿Y cómo lo miden? Porque esto es muy...
With a syringe?
Con una jeringuilla.
And you record it. Okay.
The more extensive the burn, the more extensive the pain.
This particular unit has a higher form of pain control at the present time as a result of our efforts to participate and increase their knowledge base.
I know. Basically, these children have to live through the burn injury, and that's the dressings and the cream, and sometimes a lot of analgesics, which is really important for these children. And then the basic things, even when they're healed, is try and get teaching and knowledge to the parents, looking at rehab.
Por Cristo uses each team as a building block. For example, Hospital for Sick Children burn staff coordinate all teaching plans and activities before and after each trip, so that subsequent trips build on previous efforts and Por Cristo objectives. This also provides an opportunity to follow up on especially severe cases.
Absolutely. If we continue to operate on this little girl on a yearly basis, I would say that maybe in 2 or 3 years will be finished, but we still have to take everything in stages.
This team is but one of many North American medical teams who have volunteered to work in the name of Por Cristo. Maxillofacial teams, cardiology, orthopedic, rehabilitation. Assisting them are Ecuadorian and international business people, all working together to support the growing network of Ecuadorian professionals, staff workers, and part-time volunteers who work to improve care at the local level.
The emphasis is to teach the people here how to do the care themselves, and for us not to come in and do it and leave.
So that they'll be able to understand the principles involved and then obviously take it on their own and continue to do it themselves for umpteen other children.
Por Cristo is also achieving dramatic results by getting back to basics. Here in Guayaquil's Isla Trinitaria, the island of the condemned, the focus is on prevention.
We're trying to make an inroad here in an area that's marginal. Guayaquil is notorious for its slums. 15% of the families in the slums are no longer coping. They're actually going down. The mother will be dead, within a few years. The children might survive, but it's not likely. 55% are on the borderline. Slowly over the years, it was developed this idea that what was needed here was a nutrition team. Because our experience was this, that we'd have, say, spend 2 months really working hard, everybody exhausted, the doctors, the nurses, and we'd hear the news that a baby had died just 2 blocks away.
Through the efforts of Por Cristo, a nutrition team has been formed. 100% Ecuadorian, the team works closely with Father Frank Smith and his clinic, El Dispensario Santa Rosa de Lima, which serves as the team's headquarters. Working alone or in twos, these women canvass the vast, dangerous Isla slum, identifying and treating severely malnourished children, referring critical cases to the clinic, and educating mothers in how to give child care.
And what we must do now is to train local people, mothers in every block, who will continue what the nutrition team is doing. And all it is visiting the mother, making sure she bathes the baby, giving the baby milk, the vitamins, giving them the medicine, and showing the mother some very basic skills as a mother, maternal skills, which some of them have not got here.
In an age of cynicism and skepticism, Por Cristo is proving every day on the isla that it is possible to make an incremental difference.
You can't just keep to high tech and ignore the groundwork. You've got to come and get down to the level of the people. Unfortunately, we've got people who are willing to do that. Por Cristo are willing to work in the slums. Our own missionaries are willing to work in the slums. And this is the basic ingredient, that with help from others, we can do the work. Give us the help, like the financial help, and which is not terribly big, and we'll do the rest.
An investment in support of Por Cristo offers potentially limitless results. Thanks to the efforts of the Toronto team, the level of burn care is constantly improving. Ecuadorian staff are embracing the team concept and are better prepared to treat the most severe cases and transfer expertise to their colleagues. In its initial 6 months on the isla, the nutrition team visited more than 1,100 families, assisting more than 400 babies. No child followed up during that period died. This effort to teach and train local professionals offers hope to reduce dramatically the numbers of children who wait outside hospitals, praying to hear their number called, to enter the gates for treatment. And it is Por Cristo that makes this possible.
Por Cristo has been tremendously instrumental, not only in arranging our trips, but more importantly in coordinating and in working together with the people here. Because that's the key to success in any kind of a program like this, where you're really gearing it toward educating the local professionals who are very good and very keen and interested to learn.
Because I think ultimately it will affect us. You know, maybe not now, maybe not personally, not in the short term, but we're all here together on this planet, and in some way we need to make it a better place to be, and part of our responsibility is to share our knowledge and our wealth.
People are perplexed these days because they hear so many sad stories, and so that you've got to discern, you've got to make your mind up. And once you see that people are being helped on a front level, right down, you know, grassroots level, I think you should go for it. Now is the present. And if people can help, help.